Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Chad.
And I'm Steve, and you're listening to 60 Cycle Home, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast. I almost forgot it.
I'm the only one who hasn't cracked my beer yet.
How dare you?
on.
My beer is almost empty. I'm going to leave in like 5 minutes and just stand in front of the camera on my way.
We're joined by Chad Jennings. Your last name is Jennings, right?
It actually is.
Okay, good. I didn't want to screw that up. You make guitars,
I do on occasion.
and some of them are back here behind us right now. If you're
are.
watching the YouTube video, you can see them. You brought 3 of your T-style guitars.
Which is our Navigator model.
the
but
Navigator
yes.
model. I couldn't remember it.
I
Sorry.
know, right?
Hey, Ryan, if we throw one of them off the bridge, it'll be the flight of the
Oh
night.
my gosh. And then you brought a Voyager, right?
I did bring one of our Voyager Deluxes, a semi-hollow.
It's back there. It's like an offset-y sort of semi-hollow thing. It's really attractive. I love the white finish on that
Thank
thing.
you. You're a white guy. We had that conversation earlier.
I am a white
You
guy.
like why? You like white guitars. White guitars.
Some people would say that I'm more of a pinkish kind of guy.
Most of YouTube says you're a pinkish kind of guy.
Oh, man. We could warm the lights a little bit.
Yeah, I probably should turn it down. It's probably a little hot for my skin. I'm going to get a sunburn off of LED panels.
Wow.
So we're going to talk about your guitars as the topic once we get further into the episode.
That sounds wonderful.
But before we do that, let's talk about what's new.
Hey.
You have anything new, Steve?
Yeah, my what's new is my Telecaster just got featured on the Hutch & Sons Instagram page
Featured.
because I finally got it down to Pitbull Audio to get it worked on after talking about it on the show 2 months ago.
You're going to sell stuff through Pitbull, right?
They actually have several of our
Yeah,
guitars.
they already have
actually,
Navigators.
I saw one of the Voyagers down there.
Yeah.
Go check out Pitbull.
They've got some fancy ones,
They
too.
sell stuff on the internet.
They do.
So Sean, actually, he called me this morning and was like, hey, man, so I worked on your guitar today, shine it up. And but he says he's got it playing like way better than it was.
Yeah, I bet.
Except apparently because of the way the saddles are, that guitar can't properly intonate on one of the strings.
Is it one of the straight barrel saddles? It's telling you.
No, it's not. So it's a 6 saddle telly, but they're like the block style. So they're not like the
Strat?
bent steel. They're like a block style. So like
Yeah.
what the American Strats used. I guess it's just like too big, or like the
Interesting.
the saddle
Yeah.
piece is like too long.
You know what I've always wondered? Like, why aren't there like sets of saddles, like the 6 string saddle setups, where every saddle is like a different material or mass to like compensate for different things, or like a different like shape to compensate, like to be the perfect saddle for a G string versus a D string.
So you mean like in the way that like if you have an acoustic guitar, even though it's a single saddle, it will be cut like with different
I
angles?
guess. But it's like what would happen if like half your saddles were bent steel like a traditional Strat and the other half were like block saddles like a modern Strat?
Brass, even.
Yeah, brass. Just
Or
start
bone?
mixing materials. Like your high E is too high, so you put a certain saddle in there to tone it down a
Right,
little
it's
bit.
just a
Yeah.
brass high E to like mellow it out.
Yeah. Or to get that trumpet sound.
So anyway, I talked to him, and he said that he did one of the things that I thought it needed, which was a shim.
Uh huh. Did
And,
the neck go back or did it need to go forward?
Needed to go forward.
Wow.
It needed to go up.
Oh, up. So
It
just
sits really low.
Okay.
I don't know if he also angled it at the same time, but he said that the
Interesting.
shim that was in there was like hard plastic, so he replaced it with like business card because.
well, that's the traditional Fender tone right there.
He said it's
Yes.
it's traditional. He said that the reason business card works is because you go like a little thicker than you need, and then when you screw it down, it compresses the paper and takes the shape of the pocket.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense.
Also, paper is made out of wood, so it's like putting wood in
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's tone paper.
tone paper.
So anyway, I'm looking forward to getting that back. I asked him how the action was, and he said it was like, he's like, oh yeah, when you brought it in here, it was like a slide guitar. I was like, I didn't want to like be like dicey about it. I was like, yeah, that's how I played it. But also like part of my push
You're not like a shredder or anything, though.
no, but part of my push to get that in there is I pulled out I told him, I pulled out my Strat a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize like how slow, like how high the strings were on my Telecaster until having both guitars side by side and like switching back and forth.
Totally.
So,
And our weather lately hasn't helped anyone in the
man.
guitar
Oh, yeah.
department.
It has been insane in here. I was telling you when you showed up, like,
Yeah.
I'll come down like the day after recording, and all my guitars have changed tuning just because of the weather changes. Like,
Yeah.
it's been raining today. It's San Diego. That's not supposed to happen. There's supposed to be laws against
my
that. And it's just been pouring all day. Like a week ago, it was super dry
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like crazy Santa Ana weather. If you don't know
And-
what a Santa Ana is, go look up that information. I guess. Who
It's a
cares?
Mexican
Yeah.
general.
It's a hot, dry wind from the east.
It's a hot
okay?
one.
It's a hot
It's
one.
like
can
7
be
inches from the
cool
midday
sometimes.
sun.
But it's very dry. And usually our state catches on fire.
Yeah. Oh, that's why we were on fire. We were on fire a couple weeks ago. Not down here, but
I watched it from my
you,
shop.
you
It
were pretty
was,
close to it.
I don't know if
where
you
you're
saw the
from.
Instagram story, but it was like less than 10 miles from my shop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, by the way, you may have be the person who's driven the farthest to be on this show. We haven't figured out quite yet. We know Matt from Ren and Cuff is kind of in your area.
You said Thousand Oaks.
Yeah,
Nobody knows
that's what
where
I
this
think
is.
somewhere, something like
I
that.
thought he
Like-
was like North LA, but I
Which
know
people
Thousand
call
Oaks.
Thousand Oaks like North LA.
Okay, you guys might be in the same neighborhood, but I
Kind
want to
of,
know,
yeah.
like, to the mile, which one of you is farther away.
I'll have to research that and tell you.
Maybe it's in time. Maybe you guys are neighbors.
Probably not.
Yeah, okay. You know?
I could have like come across each other in
Oh,
friend
sorry. It
circles.
says he's in Newberry Park.
You asked him?
That's even closer
It's
to my shop.
on his
Okay.
page where
So
he's
do
on-
you-
Literally 5 minutes from my
Did
shop.
you
I'm
drive?
5 minutes
Did
north.
you drive farther than him? Oh, you're 5 minutes north.
5 minutes north?
So you did come from farther.
yes.
We did it. We geography podcasted.
Yeah. Camarillo, then Newberry Park, and then Thousand
What's
Oaks.
going to
and-
happen is we're going to be at NAM and somebody's going to say that they only attended NAM so they could jump on like a spontaneous recording session with us. But they
And be the
will have,
farthest.
they will have driven from like Minnesota or some
Oh my
nonsense.
gosh.
I mean, we've had
Canada,
people. We've
maybe?
had people come from super far for like our 200th episode,
Yeah, but they flew. They
but they
didn't drive.
weren't guests on the show.
Where did they come from?
They were in the audience. We had people coming from like Seattle and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
and all over the place.
Pedal guys or just fans?
Fans and you know,
pedal
sponsors
guys.
and
Isn't that
things
weird?
like
you,
that.
you have fans?
I don't get it either. You want to talk about what's new? You had you got.
I
Some
got some Maris stuff. I met up with Terry Burton actually just yesterday from Maris and got some of their stuff. It is gear that's above my pay grade, that's for sure. You know, I've been building for so long, I haven't like messed around in the pedal department much. So I'm like trying to step into this. I'm like, holy cow! But
that stuff is crazy. If you're jumping into pedals and that's the thing you're
Yeah.
jumping into,
I was like all analog, and now it's
that
this.
is
so,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Your amp just arrived on the porch, and I assume you don't want it in the rain.
My amp just arrived on the porch and it's raining. I'll go get it.
Should we
Steve.
unbox it?
Yeah, say, are we gonna do? Can we do an unboxing?
That would
It
be
exists.
awesome.
The world knows about it. So, so yeah. So you got those Maris. Where do we put that board
They're
at?
hiding. Do you want me to get it?
Yeah, let me grab it.
I think it should be in the
Oh, it's in the-
creation bag, or is it just floating? We got one pedal in the creation bag and two on the board. Yeah.
I'll just grab the board.
Red. Yeah, so we've got Maris Enzo. This one's way above my pay grade.
I think that's above like most people's pay grade because
Yeah,
like
but people know how to use it, and I don't.
who? I'm gonna have to look at YouTube because that thing is
Mark
weird.
Johnson, have you?
I know who Mark,
Mark
is.
Johnson
I've
is the
seen some of his
guy.
stuff, and that makes sense that
He
does.
loves this pedal.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is it?
It's a Boss thing.
It's a box.
The amp is Boss.
Do we have room? Are we actually unboxing it right now? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm not going to unbox it right now, but it's the Boss Next Tone Artist.
Yeah.
I got Boss to send this to me because they're sponsoring the booth that I'm going to be working at NAMM, and so I'm going to be using this to record.
Are you gonna have to get? I know you
At the
have.
booth.
I know it's a loaner. So are you giving it back to him at the end of the after the show, or you should just work that out with? Did they ship it out of their LA center?
I have no idea. It got here lickety split. I was not expecting it to show up
We
today.
should try to figure out how to just take it back to them in LA.
Oh yeah, and go hang
and, like,
out.
Just hang out
Yeah, that's a fun idea.
because that's.
I mean, it would take up a whole like extra day of my life.
Yeah, I was
take me
gonna
away
say,
from my family
that's
and
totally
You're
stuff.
not busy or anything.
That's
no big
totally
deal.
what my wife wants me to plan around. Is like, oh, hey, I'm
A
going to
trip
go
up
to
to
NAMM
LA.
for a number of unknown days, and then I'm going to go up to LA again, like a
And
week
still hang
later.
out.
No, I'm sure I'll be leaving it with them after NAMM or something like that. They sent it to me so that I can practice and experiment with recording direct and stuff
That's
like
what
that.
they want you to practice.
They want me to practice.
practice.
So what did we?
What
Oh,
is
we
that?
we have the Marises
We're,
out.
we're talking about the Marises. I kind of
Yes,
want to grab the
sorry.
other one actually
Okay.
because the Mercury 7 is wonderful. Again, I'm too familiar for these, but they're awesome. I love Terry.
The friggin' Enzo or whatever it's called.
We don't know
was
what to do with that yet.
Ridiculous. I have no idea how I'd work that into any kind of set or song. I could see myself like
It's the ambient guys that are making them work.
You said it right. You like this is for making movie soundtracks. Like
It really is.
if I was
This is awesome.
if I was scoring like Stranger Things,
There we go.
like that would be on all the time, and I'd just be sitting there racking knobs while running like a signal pad through it or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with it. Terry, please teach me how to use this thing. And then we got the Maris Poly Moon. It's
Yeah.
a really awesome delay. I think it's digital delay, Terry.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm misrepresenting you.
It's got to be digital.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I got to use it. I played it for actually about an hour. That's more guitar than I've played probably in the last several months. That's how much I liked it. And then the Mercury 7, which is another digital delay actually, and it's really awesome as well.
Why did I think it was a reverb?
Sorry, you're right. It is reverb.
It's a reverb.
I have misspoken. But it's awesome.
Well, it's got all kinds of like controls and knobs and buttons and switches and stuff on it.
Oh,
so it
wow.
must be good.
Wow, how descriptive, Ryan. Thank you.
It's got mono out, expression, MIDI.
Yeah, the MIDI
It takes
thing.
9 volts. I know so much about this pedal now.
Well, how about that? I wanted to show the front of this board actually. Or
Yeah, you got one of your custom
Is,
laser etchings here on your
Yeah.
creation
It has
board.
the creation, the Jennings custom etching. They will pretty much custom etch like anything you send them, right? Maybe not.
Maybe not
to miss-
anything.
Yeah.
Maybe we could test that and see what they won't etch.
Have you seen his etched like pedal covers, like the
Yeah.
volume pedal covers?
Yeah,
Those are pretty cool.
I think he was doing those before he started doing like the large ones for.
Oh, probably.
If you
for the
get
boards.
laser, you gotta like laser as many things as you can. Like,
Yeah.
this is
That's
just
like the
rule.
next tool for the shop.
You're gonna get a laser? Hell yeah.
Hopefully. All the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah, lasers are cool, man.
Yeah.
It's like when I was a kid, like the idea of people having lasers was like the most exotic thing you could imagine. And now people I know own lasers.
Yeah.
And not
They do
laser
cool things
pointers,
with
like
them.
lasers that cut stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a cool time to be alive, guys. I've
Oh
got
yeah, Ryan, what's your what new?
I've got a new thing.
What's your what new? Wow.
I have to figure out how to give away this atmosphere pedal by Dr. Scientist. I've been really busy. Thanksgiving like completely killed my schedule.
Yeah.
So I've just been like days behind ever since, trying to catch up and get little things done, like announcing how to like win a pedal. So I have to figure out the actual contest and how I'm going to award it to someone. But they sent me 2 of these things with the idea that I would give one away. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out this week. I promise, guys. So stay
Sweet.
tuned. We're starting an email list. So go join up on that through our website, 60cyclehumcast.com. Did I do that right, Steve?
60cyclehumcast.com or just look in the show notes.
Or just look in the show notes. No, but I'm saying like follow the join on the email because I'll probably announce the details through email,
yes.
through email.
Yes.
So join onto that
We
email
still need to
thing.
send out our. Did you already send an email out on that?
I haven't yet.
We need to.
I'm gonna do it
I'm gonna let
after
you-
this episode.
I'm gonna let you write the first one.
I already wrote the first one, but it's already out of date. I'm gonna write a new one.
I was just gonna let you write the first one, but I'm not gonna edit it.
It's just gonna be posts to videos and links.
Oh, okay. No actual words.
I mean, if you want to write an article, go ahead, Steve. I'm not gonna like hamper your ambitions. You want something you need to get off your chest? You
No.
want to be a journalist over there?
no.
Okay.
We used to write articles.
We
every
tried.
Once in a while.
We used to think blogging was the future, like all this podcast stuff was
my
done. We're all just going to be bloggers making big money off of AdWords.
AdWords. Yay.
All right, we did it. We got through our what's new stuff. Should we go straight into an ad, or is there anything else we need to do?
That's it. That's everything.
Let's warm up with an ad, and then we'll talk about your sweet,
Ad
sweet
time.
guitars.
All right. This first
Sweet.
ad was sent in by Adam Dolhanic. The Inboxer. This is in Commerce, California. Isn't Commerce?
It's only $60.
Yeah, it is
I know,
$60.
right?
It's a modified Squire Stratocaster.
Your
Why
whole
did-
attitude about this guitar changed
I know.
just now, didn't
I was
it?
like,
Why
this
did I
guy's on
think
drugs
Commerce,
and
California,
money.
like nobody actually lived there? There's some town in the middle of Los Angeles that's like an actual town, but it has a population of like 3.
Because it's all just
Even though
businesses.
even though it takes up like several blocks in the middle of Los Angeles, it's literally in it. All it is an industrial sector.
Right.
That would
and,
make
like-
sense, City of Commerce, but
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's Commerce.
And one
but
of
it's-
the three
if it's
people,
not Commerce, it's near Commerce.
one of the 3 people that live there is the mayor. Like, think about that. Your town's
Right.
got 3 people, and one of them's the mayor.
Exactly.
The other one's the constable, and that leaves 1 citizen. That's a weird town.
All right. So anyway, this is a modified Squire Stratocaster guitar. It's on OfferUp. It says used, normal wear. Bought it modded this way. Was planning on changing the pickups and setting it up, but my plans changed. Sounds and plays great. Volume knob is a bit weird. It goes out when turned all the way up. Other than that, it's pretty good. It's got plenty of wear, but none of it affects the sound or playability.
No mention. Oh, he said
$60 firm.
$60 firm, cash only, no trades, pickup only.
he says he bought it modded this way.
Yeah.
That's the same thing the guy who painted my SG said. He said someone else painted it, and I looked him in the eye. I'm like, no, you painted it. I can see the shame in your face.
Oh my
SG is pretty. We talked
It
about
is
that
pretty, but
earlier.
it's a sloppy paint job. It's pretty.
The more
it-
you can play it and ding it up, and nobody cares.
It's pretty in spite of it being a sloppy paint job. But I don't buy for a minute that this guy didn't do this because no
That
one
just reminds
no
me
one
of-
would buy this.
That reminds me of the terrible thing that you used to say all the time.
What? Say it, Steve. I want to hear you say it.
The terrible thing. You're not fat. You're pretty.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't say it like it was my thing. I said it as a joke.
But you said it.
Referencing that
Is
other
it
people say
Is it a reference to something?
Yeah, people say that when they're assholes.
Oh, okay.
And I was referencing assholes as like ironically. I didn't actually
Oh,
ever
okay.
think that
All right.
about anyone.
I didn't think you ever thought about anyone. It was just the asshole thing that you would always
Yeah, I was
say.
referencing a bad thing that people say.
All right. Anyway,
And that's the danger of saying things ironically, kids. Like sometimes people don't realize
don't ever
you're
be
making
ironic.
a joke. They don't
be
think,
100% serious 95% of the time, and the other 5% just be asleep.
that sounds like about the amount of sleep I've been getting lately.
yeah.
So we've been yammering on about this guitar and haven't mentioned the elephant in the room. It's a Stratocaster that's been modified. What would you call this pickup configuration? A single, double, single
You refer to it as the Z
Z
pickup.
is the Z
configuration.
pickup. It's like a Z60, a Z90, Jammin' Z90. This is
San Diego's hit station.
This is the Jammin' Z90 guitar, which is a very local reference.
So basically,
who listen to the
it's-
show won't understand.
It's a neck
Yeah.
pickup. It's 2 very slanted middle pickups.
So like one of these
Is that a humbucker in the middle? Do we think it's a humbucker or not?
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
It might be. If one pickup is reverse wound, I bet it could function.
You
as a
don't think you
humbucker.
can select each one of those pickups separately?
Oh, I hope you can. But
What kind of switch would
we
you
got to
use for that?
describe this so the
don't know.
listeners
This
at
has a
home
5-way switch
can
and,
know what we're looking at here. It's
There
crazy.
is a toggle switch.
So the one of these middle pickups is slanted so that the farthest pole on one side is underneath the low E, and then the farthest pole on the other side is underneath the D. It's only underneath 3 strings, like this whole pickup, and it's a regular Strat pickup. And then the other pickup is slanted the same way, but it's like the furthest pole is under the G, and then the other furthest pole is kind of under the high E.
Yeah, kind of.
Like kind of. It's funny because so many of these strings get multiple poles lined up underneath of them, and then the high E really gets nothing lined
Right,
up.
right. But I mean, so for like slanted pickups, that's not that
You know what else is
odd.
crazy
'Cause
about
my
this?
my jack string is kind of like that.
You know what else is crazy about this?
Tell me, Ryan.
The bridge pickup is not slanted at all.
Yeah.
Oh,
Duosonic or something like that.
for some reason I did not process that.
So whoever cut this pick guard, like fully cut it custom.
and
Like,
the tolerances look pretty tight,
it
actually.
does. It looks like a decent job.
Yeah.
Do you think you could buy this pick guard? Maybe this is a thing you can order.
Oh, there's a little switch right there. Like,
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
kind of extra switch. I bet that is for the humbucker single control.
yeah.
Or you can control. Maybe it's a 3-way, and you can.
It
control
looks like it's a 3-way.
one on, one off, or both on, sort of situation.
What kind of drugs do you think the builder was on?
Very good ones. The best drugs. I kind of hate the general theme of this guitar beyond the pickup stuff. Like, I hate that color blue. It's my least favorite blue for a guitar.
How come?
I just don't like it. It's my whole.
You're a light blue guy.
I was explaining that to you earlier because you've got a guitar back here that's blue.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice light blue that's really pretty, honestly. It's not like this ugly, ugly blue that we're looking at. But, like, I wear blue jeans. Like, I've got shoes that are blue. I've got shirts that are blue. My eyes are blue. Like, how much blue do I need in my life? Like, I want the guitar to be a different color than the rest of everything
I'm
about
not
me.
blue averse to anywhere near the extent that you are. But this color blue has always.
It's the
And
cheap
whenever I see this
Squire
on a
blue.
guitar, I just
Yeah.
think that's a cheap guitar. I don't, because this is a color. This is a color, and there's something about the way it's finished that it's like these budget Affinity Squires. It's First Act did a guitar that was like this color blue.
Yeah.
It's like those. It's
You know that when
company-
you start sanding into that blue, you're going to run to a layer of white paint, then a layer of black paint, and then a layer of gray paint. Like, you know exactly what you're getting into with this finish.
Or
it's
just
one
a
of those things
half
where,
inch of blue.
No company has ever sold a guitar this color for more than like $135.
Well,
Right.
Let me propose this question. Do you think that blue is very demographic targeted? Like, a certain demographic just likes that color blue.
It's like Lego
know.
blue. It's the color of like the blue that Lego uses.
I think it's like probably like the most budget friendly paint color. Like some guy at the paint factory forgot to switch like the color, like the ink for the,
Know
or
what
the
it
dye
is?
for the paint. He just like fell asleep and they made like
Whoops.
10 billion cans of this stuff.
Know what it is like that the paint that they use. By the time like the chemical reaction is done mixing, the paint just comes that color, and to get it to be another color, they have to put it to like a treatment to bleach it out. So this is the raw color.
This is just blank paint.
This is blank paint.
You would like to think that blank paint would be like white, but
no,
it's not. It's
like
actually
because of the
blue.
chemicals in the ingredients, it's blue, and they have to bleach it to get white
That
paint.
actually
I'm learning
almost
a lot
makes
right now.
sense.
I'm just pulling this out of my ass.
I know, but it almost makes sense.
I bet that paint is a different color other than white when it's first manufactured.
probably a gray
My
or
brother's
brown.
a painter. I could just ask him, and he would tell me, and he'd probably be like, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever
Is he
heard."
a house painter or a car painter?
House painter. Sorry,
that
a
you,
little
your
light
car
in your
painter?
eye.
No.
He does want to try his hand at painting one of my guitar bodies. So he's like,
Like
because he's got
painting or like
no, he's got professional sprayers and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he has questions, tell him to call me.
claims my brother claims he can spray metal flake with his sprayer.
You probably can. You just
I
need
don't
a,
know.
you
I've
just need a
always
fat
heard those
nozzle.
sprayers.
I have my
yeah,
doubts.
I guess if you have the right equipment, yeah.
I have my doubts, but he says he can do it. We'll see. I'm gonna let him spray something, and
Just
I'll
tell
do a
him.
video of it.
Just
Tell him to give me a call.
Daniel, when have you ever painted a house metal flake?
hey, it could be the new big thing.
Just ask him.
Kind of like the one that you did. It's just you just sprinkled glitter on
Yeah, I
it.
just did a glitter can over a wet coat of spray poly.
and then just more coats on top of it.
I made it real fuzzy, and then I just kept spraying until there was enough finish to cover the glitter.
And you're like, yeah, that's good.
And then I let it set for about a year and a half because it was very gummy.
yeah. It looks good though.
Yeah.
I'm
Is it
actually
still
a fan.
gummy? Is it finally cured?
Oh, it's all cured. Yeah.
Polly's finicky.
So this guitar is $60. If this was local, how tempted would you be? You get an extra pickup with this. Free pickup, guys.
On a 1 to 10, -2.
You wouldn't go pick this up for $60? I mean, you make guitars just like you got guitars everywhere. What about
That's
you?
an understatement.
What about you, Steve?
It wouldn't just have to be local. It'd have to be like
Hyper local.
It'd have to be not leaving. It either basically have to be in one of 3 San Diego neighborhoods.
I mean,
that
it's not like
frequent.
this is a Mexican Strat where you know you can convert it back to being something rad. This is the worst of the worst, like Affinity Strat with the worst tuners on it.
Yeah.
It might need the F word attached to it, which is free.
or brown liquor trade.
Or
Brown
pizza.
liquor trade.
Pizza trade, yeah. All right,
Well, Costco pizza for guitar.
Ooh.
that's a good trade.
Ooh. And that's only like
$10.
$12 out the door.
Yeah.
Is it
Well,
12?
maybe you know what? You know
Depends on
what?
what taxes.
You say, hey, I've got this guitar, Costco pizza, and get me a bottle of something from Costco. Anything you want. There's nothing at
could be
Costco that's
scary.
going to be under like $10.
I'm gonna show up with a ball of Windex.
You know what? It'd be like 6 gallons of Windex, though, and it'd cost more than like a bottle of wine or something.
That or you'd get a bottle of rubbing alcohol.
You can get some real cheap stuff at Costco.
I don't think I would be tempted for $60, even though like that's throwaway money. And
Well-
like someone who would like see this pickup configuration and be like, I just got to try it. That could be throwaway money for them. Like, I just got to try this to see what it's like.
What if you set up an awesome video and you got to light it on fire
You want
and then
to
smash it
torch it, huh?
and then smash it while it's on fire? I don't know.
Smash it while it's on fire.
Does he say anything about what parts went into it?
No, it's a
No.
Squire. It's a Squire.
But
the only
where-
thing is
what
Where's
is-
the extra pickup?
Yeah, what's the make of the extra pickup? Is
probably also Squire.
it? Yeah.
From his box of Squire parts he has in
What
his
you don't
garage.
know is he does have another Strat that's also a
bet-
Squire, but now it's just a straight Duosonic.
I bet
2
he
pickup.
spent more money getting this pick guard made than he spent on the guitar.
What is the possibility that it's just photoshopped?
No.
Haters will say it's Photoshop.
I can tell by the pixels. This is real.
It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot.
I will say, you do bring up a point. Like if you wanted to learn to build and you just wanted to get parts or whatever,
a great way to
$60
start.
isn't a bad price for this. You're getting a bridge. The bridge looks like it's in decent shape. You're getting 4 pickups, so it's only like
That's like the cheapest
you-
bridge though, with the worst.
if you
like,
if you were to
saddles on it.
say that the pickups are the only thing worth anything here, you're still only paying $15 a pickup,
Yeah.
and the neck is probably garbage, but you could sell that neck for $20. Like
You can learn how to do a refresh.
you
on it.
could make money parting this guitar out.
This is a guitar you could practice doing repairs on for sure.
You could flip this.
If this guitar was in stock condition, I'd be like, yeah, $60, sure, whatever.
I bet
but then, like, the
I
mo-
bet I
this
could
crazy-
get like $10 for those knobs.
This crazy modification
I would like to see that.
doesn't add any value to it. Can we agree?
No, this modification does. That's why it's $60, Ryan, because the person who's selling this doesn't even think the modification improves the value.
Well,
of this
the volume doesn't work when you turn it all the way up, apparently either.
But apparently it does work at some point.
At some point, it works.
Do you think this neck is worth more now that it's had the Squire logo removed from it?
Yes, I think that neck is worth more because
That
people
neck could
won't,
be worth $50.
won't know that it's an affinity.
No, you need to take the Crafted in China off the back
Yeah.
too.
Wasn't Squire even Fenders? No, just
But
Squires.
not this serial.
Yeah. I mean, you
The
can
Fender Modern Players are, I think, made in China.
you
They're
can
good,
you
too,
can
actually.
get great stuff made out of China. You can get great stuff made
The
out
real
of
giveaway
Korea.
that this is a cheap guitar is the tuners. You
Yeah.
can't, unless you just got rid of the tuners completely and sold it as just the neck.
There you go.
Boom.
I mean, people are so.
like
Oh
the
man,
tuners-
now I want to flip this.
All right, let's talk about your guitars, dude. How we suck-
guitars.
Your guitars.
guitars.
We're gonna move the next. You
Oh.
see on the list here, the topic is Jennings.
That's what that says.
That's what I
you.
wrote too.
That's you.
I couldn't quite read that over there.
You came all the way down here.
Well, that's because Ryan's handwriting is garbage.
I'm just kidding.
I
It's
should have
'cause
been
you're a lefty, and
should have
that's
been
amazing.
I should have been a doctor.
Oh, man.
But anyways,
Was that a Zoidberg?
I kind of felt like it was. I wasn't
You're like,
trying.
"Yeah, I should have been
Should've
a
been
doctor.
I couldn't even do it if I wanted to try right
Should have
now.
been a
gosh.
doctor.
So how long have you been making guitars? I feel like I've only just recently become aware of you, which is
I
crazy.
think it's just like after a while, like the bubble just kind of starts to break, and people are like, "Oh, I've at least heard of you," and I feel like my bubble's starting to break.
I think your bubble did break.
So-
We're gonna need a mop in here. Your bubble broke all over the floor.
Pregnant or something? No.
That is disturbing.
No, like it seems like
Why would you say that?
I can't remember when like I first heard of you, but I feel like I'm seeing your stuff everywhere all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what's going on. Like
People are getting them.
people are getting them. People are getting your
People
guitars.
understand it.
How many guitars are you doing like a year right now?
Jennings stuff, we're at about 100. I think this year we're going to do about 150.
Wait,
Actually.
hold on. You just said Jennings stuff. So is there other stuff?
I do private contract stuff as well.
Oh,
So I do
interesting.
manufacture some stuff for some
Okay.
companies that I'm not allowed to speak about.
That's
Can
fine.
you speak about the number of those that you do?
It was seeming like last year I was doing roughly 8 a month.
8 a month.
But some of them were just necks. because he would manufacture some of the
Okay,
bodies.
okay.
Some of them are both, so I kind of count it in not full guitars, but almost individual units.
Like projects.
yeah. So
Gotcha.
Now, are you doing like
You're a
everything
busy
by
boy, though.
hand or?
I am busy. No, we
100
are CNC.
I mean, 150 guitars a year.
Enough to make you crazy.
That's a lot of guitars, dude.
Yeah.
What is that, like 2 or 3 a week? Something like that?
Yep. That's kind of my goal. 2 or 3 a week. That's what keeps the bill keepers away.
I struggle to get like 2 or 3 little projects done
Dude,
a week. And you're
it's a
busting out
nightmare.
guitars a week. You got to have employees.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
how many-
I got
like-
one guy working with me.
You got one guy and you're doing 3 guitars a week?
I myself work as if I'm 2 guys sometimes by the amount of hours I put in, but yeah.
You're busting them out, dude.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've got
CNC helps a lot,
CNC
and everyone's got
guitar
their
machine.
own take on CNC.
Sure.
I use it to increase quality and repeatability, but I still craft all the stuff by hand. All guitars are made that way.
Okay.
And a lot of it, I'll rough out the neck shape on the CNC, and I still spend a good 30, 40 minutes trying to get that neck right where I want it. And then you got to roll the fretboard edges and do all the final touches. So CNC is great,
Right.
but it's like,
It gets you most of the way there.
exactly.
And then, like, I imagine, like, when the neck comes off the CNC, it's like in rough shape and it's pixelated, right? Like there's like edges
Kind of,
and
yeah.
stuff. And then you go in and you hand smooth everything out
Yeah.
to be exactly how you want it to be.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a rough cut and then you
Exactly.
fine tune it.
It's like a rough cut wanting to be fine cut.
Gotcha.
So it helps.
Right.
Yeah.
But like it makes it so that, you know, if you were hand carving from just a block of wood,
Oh, you're using
Like,
bandsaw and like router templates? I
things-
used to do it that way.
things could go crazy really quickly and it would take you way longer. So it gets you most of the way there early and then you can spend your time dialing in the fine details
Yeah.
instead of being like, did I just like cut a neck that's got like a 4-degree bend in it in the middle for some reason?
Or oops, it tore out. Now I have to throw that piece away.
Oh, yeah.
CNC, you're able to calculate that stuff a little bit better, but it's still wood and it still does its own thing. But yeah, so guitars are fun. I think I don't know where to go with this conversation. There's so many dynamics to it.
Like, how long have you been
How
doing
long?
this? Like, how long has Jennings been a company that's putting out guitars?
Jennings has been building guitars probably for 5 or 6 years, but as like the established brand that everyone knows it as, like 2014. So we're fairly
Okay,
fresh
like
still.
You're as old as we are.
That's true. That's
Built
We
my-
started in
yeah.
2014.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
We started at the bottom and look at us all now. We're in the garage.
There's guitars back here though.
Yeah, we all have a lot more guitars now.
We started on the bottom and we're barely
We're
above
just
the bottom.
Still on the bottom.
Now we're here in a different part of the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, I first saw your stuff in person at the podcast little festival that our mutual friend
Was that a festival?
you know, it was-
There are only
Chaos.
3 podcasts there.
and we had another YouTube channel there. We had you
Mr.
know,
Sean over
3
there.
podcasts and a YouTuber.
we had the SPJ with us.
And then I showed up eventually.
It was a festival.
Like, oh, there's guitars
it was a
here.
festival.
There
of
was
podcasting.
food.
But
There was meat.
You brought
There was
guitars
meat.
with you, and like your stuff is incredible in
you.
person. And it's just one of those things where I can't believe I hadn't seen it in person before.
Yeah.
Like you did do some really great builds, and they're like in my wheelhouses for like the offsetty kind of like surfy kind of like
Yeah.
throwback vibe is. Like I like your finishes and like
Thank you.
the weird things you do with the finishes. Like
Right. So we've got
this.
So we've got this is the Voyager Semi.
and it's got
Yeah.
this open grain like matte finish paint.
Yeah, so I kind of coated white on there and I didn't do grain fill and then just threw some satin on top of that. And that's what you got. You kind of get that contrast.
This is actually a good visual because that's what I want to do with that Ibanez body that I have.
kind of stain sides.
Is
and paint the
just
top and stuff.
well, not the sides because I don't know how to do that. But
teach you.
dude, I got a can of Krylon. I'm just gonna Krylon this thing.
I love. I love
but
the
I have
etched
no intention
you.
to grain
logo in
fill.
the pick guard.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
gunning for that look.
Go
Well,
with satin. It will make it look better if you
Okay.
do it. We did some glossy and it was like, it looked good, but not as good as the satin does. But yeah.
So do you have like a central philosophy for guitar making or anything deep like that you want to wow us with? Or like,
I don't know.
what's your like thought on guitar design, you know?
My thought is keep it classic, which is very apparent. Keep it simple, which I think the headstock explains that. very well. And then keep it consistent. I think one of the biggest comments I get all the time is
It
guys.
feels like you were ready for this question.
I've answered it a few times.
Okay.
Yeah,
Keep
no,
it consistent.
yeah. And then a lot of guys, as they pick up the necks, they're like, if I was blindfolded, I wouldn't know which guitar I was holding because
Sure.
the necks are so consistent.
Right.
So that takes time to develop. And then resonance, high resonance, lots of resonance.
I've noticed that a lot, like every one of your guitars I picked up has been very light.
Yeah.
Like that's a resonance thing, or like
It helps, yeah.
I feel like
typically.
light guitars typically like I can really feel them resonating against my body, and I
Yeah.
feel like maybe they don't sustain as long. I don't know. People argue about that stuff, but I feel like there's more to the sound of the guitar when it's a lighter, more resonant sort of thing.
Yeah, there definitely is. I don't know how to describe sustain necessarily. Like there's kind of physics and logic to it.
Sustain is dumb. I don't want to play piano. I want to play guitar.
Exactly. But I think good sustain is important.
Sure, but there's distortion pedals and compressors for that.
Totally.
And reverb. I mean, reverb gives you a nice trail and sustains you. That's all
It does.
need. Yeah.
It does.
Reverb sustains you. Okay.
It does, Ryan.
I'm gonna get that like painted in cursive on the wall of my kitchen.
That's your tat, dude.
It'll be right underneath live,
That's
laugh,
your
love.
forehead tat.
Reverb sustains me.
So what are you using? So are all of these guitars back here the same body wood, or are they different? Like, what are you typically using for woods and whatnot?
Yes, they are. I happen to bring all swamp ash.
You're good at talking into microphones. I was like,
I know, I was like, whoa.
I was sitting there waiting to like, oh, please talking to the mic.
Yeah.
And you turned around. Very good.
Yeah, so these guys are all swamp ash specifically. It's light, it's open. The other thing I do is I keep the finishes thin to keep the resonance pretty high.
Okay.
Yeah, roasted maple neck on the Voyager Deluxe we have, and then I don't know, variations of maple and rosewood on the Navigators.
The
Even
Navigators.
I forget the name.
I was,
So new.
I was watching you to see if you'd remember it.
I was like the Navigator.
So you've
The Navigator.
got the Navigator. You've got the Voyager Semi, the Voyager regular Voyager.
Yeah.
Do you have any other models?
We have a Catalina model, which is
The Catalina is like the bigger body style, right?
it is, but it's
can
not
feel-
a whole lot bigger than the Voyager.
Yeah, it's not huge, but it's like it's
got a round butt.
It's full. Yeah, it's got a round butt. It's got a fuller figure.
Yeah, exactly. No, I kind of wanted to do like a 339 type guitar, but flat top, and then that's where the Catalina kind of birthed from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What kind of guitars were you playing before you started building? Like, what was your brand? Like
Tele Strats.
so like
you know,
Fender
it was
stuff.
literally just copies, and then I threw like my ghetto logo at the time on there. So
Gotcha. Are you
definitely lawsuit
I mean,
guitars.
If you're cutting out 3 guitars a week, you're doing this full time.
Oh yeah,
When did you start doing it full time?
December. Well, I December
So-
2014.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of when I started going full time.
Right.
But I would
Like
even argue
December.
before that. Yeah, last
Like a
December.
year ago?
Like a week from now?
Yeah.
Next week, you're gonna.
Wait, did I time travel now?
What were you doing before that? Were you working in the guitar industry? Were you doing something else?
I was making pizzas at Costco.
Nice. Whoa. So you know,
bring
full
it back.
circle.
I was
So
elbow deep in pizza.
You know how much a Costco pizza costs because you used to make them.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Man.
Do you have any Costco pizza secrets for us? We're going on a side tangent.
Yeah, if
now.
you try to make your own, you get fired. I'm just kidding. I didn't get fired. But I went to make my own pizza and I purchased it because you have to buy the pizza. You can't just get a free one.
Right,
That's how
right.
the system works.
Okay.
And then
Do you have to work both sides of the counter when you do that? Like you take the pizza and you're like, please sir, insert your card, and then you have to run around to the other side and put the card in.
No, I had to buy it off one of the other employees
Oh, okay.
at the register. But
And then you tried to cook it yourself.
no, I did cook it myself, and I put I removed some toppings from the combo pizza, and then put some extra peppers and stuff.
Okay.
And then I got to talk with one of the managers, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't do this. Like, we could fire you or something." I was just like,
They're serious.
"Oh my gosh."
I worked for Costco as a seasonal employee, and I went past the season where it was supposed to be seasonal.
Yeah.
So I think they were looking for any reason to get rid of me because they're like, we're getting close to the edge where the union wouldn't let us fire him, and we don't know.
Yeah,
we need
you're
this many
past your
employees.
probation.
So they fired me over a matter of being late 3 minutes one day.
Which At least at my Costco, they had a 3-minute late window.
So Ryan was they probably had that too, and he was
here's-
actually 6 minutes late.
Here's what happened. I like a sucker. I took jury duty while I had this job. Costco was like, "Oh, we'll just put you on the nights. We'll put you on night shift."
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing jury duty from like 8 o'clock in the morning till like 5 o'clock at night, having to drive all the way back from downtown up to Carmel Mountain.
Right.
The listeners don't know how far that is, but it's a drive.
It's like
Especially at
50
night.
miles.
It's kind
I'm
of
just kidding.
serious. And so I was trying to rush to get back to Costco to start a shift at like 6 o'clock at night after doing jury duty till 5. And I was 3 minutes late one time because I was doing my civic duty. But it's probably better that I got fired anyways. I don't want to work at Costco the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
It was good.
No, I'm not dissing people who do want to work at Costco for the rest of
Costco's
their life.
actually great.
It's actually pretty great. I actually really respect them as an employer.
I had,
Despite them firing me over 3 minutes.
yeah, that's ridiculous. I had dental insurance for like $3 a month or like $7 a month, and like medical for
Wow.
like 10 or something.
Yeah.
And then if you go to their
They
Costco prescription, it's
Yeah.
like $3 for like whatever.
They pay their
It's crazy.
They pay their employees good and they take care of them, but they expect you to deliver.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they work their people. Like
Yeah.
they make you work for sure. There's no cushy job over there. All right, so back to guitars, maybe.
I'm hungry now.
Which Costco food court item would you compare your guitars to? Are you like
Chicken bake. No.
Oh no, not the chicken
Whoa,
bake.
dude! I don't know.
love
That's
those,
I think
man.
that's a big brag.
All
I
I,
love the
all, I,
chicken
all I
bakes.
thought of as soon as you said that, I was like, don't say chicken bacon.
Here's the thing. The vast majority of the year, I don't want a chicken bake. But if I go to Costco and
the
it's
winter?
kind of cold, a little windy, a little cloudy, that chicken bake hits the spot.
Yeah.
The problem with the chicken bake is that I always eat the whole thing. I should only eat like maybe 2/3 of it, and I always feel like garbage afterwards.
Really?
So when you pick chicken bake, I'm like, oh, so I'm gonna play your guitar, and I'm gonna
Is this-
love it while I'm playing it,
And
and
then
then I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
put it
think
down.
chicken
I'm gonna
bake.
feel like garbage. This
It's-
guitar is gonna be great in the moment, and I'm just gonna hate myself
It's
later.
just pizza dough with like a chicken pot pie filling, dude.
Pretty much. But
It's the Caesar. It's like the whole Caesar
It
blah
is-
blah chicken bake. It's really salty.
It's very salty. There's a lot
and
of
there's
salt
bacon in
there.
it, which
And there's
really
bacon in
makes
there.
it good.
Yeah.
But the pizzas, they sit out on the racks in the oven, and they get all nasty, or like the heating window,
Okay.
they get all nasty. So I never
I'm
wanted
not
a
saying
pizza
you should.
from
I'm not saying
Costco.
you should pick the pizza.
I should have picked the salad.
The salad is pretty good. The salad's
It'll
pretty
kill
good.
you.
I'm pretty sure the salad
your
has more
guitar's killing
calories than the pizza
It's
does.
all full of deadly romaine lettuce.
We were talking about guitars, weren't we?
One more thing about Costco. I wanted to start like a petition on change.org for them to start carrying root beer in the soda fountains. They got root beer in the soda fountain. You get a hot dog, comes with the soda cup, and then you get yourself the soft serve ice cream.
Oh
You make
my
yourself a
gosh.
float. You make yourself
Frozen yogurt, to
two.
be
You
exact.
make yourself 2 floats to share with someone with all that frozen
Goodness.
yogurt and
Goodness.
root beer. Get on at Costco. They call it frozen yogurt. It doesn't taste like frozen yogurt to me. It tastes like soft serve.
It's right in the middle.
It's not tangy like
I
frozen
was
yogurt.
thinking that you should.
It's
your
better
guitar
than
should
frozen
be,
yogurt.
the gelato,
The gelato, which
Costco
is,
has gelato?
they used to around here.
which is why because
If I knew that.
because you can
hands
only
down.
find them in certain stores. It's totally awesome.
so you're saying Jennings is the gelato of Costco.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's hard to find. Not all the stores have them.
Ain't that
But then
true?
also their gelato was kind of just ice cream too. It wasn't actually
That's all gelato is.
I know, but it's not like the gelato you get from a little Italian man on the corner somewhere.
yeah.
You know, it was a big scoop of ice cream. Like you don't get Costco's
gelato's
good-
like that big.
yeah, Costco's giving you scoops of gelato like that big.
Generally speaking, I try not to take ice cream from random old Italian dudes on street corners.
Why do you hate Italians, Steve?
That's not what I said. All right, so we have
I mean, you went on your
I'm
whole
glad we're doing exactly.
you
what
went on your
podcasts are
whole
supposed to do.
Cosby rant last week, and
I
now you
know.
hate Italians.
so we have these guitars. What do you use? So you're building your wood. You're building your wood. You're building everything.
Yeah.
do you grow the
what do
wood?
you-
Do you have trees?
Jeez.
Do I live in Washington?
Well, like, what are you using, like, hardware wise? Pickup wise, hardware, et cetera, et cetera.
Hardware, I'm all over the place.
I noticed that.
I got Bigsby, I got Mastery.
What is the bridge you
Some stuff's
that's
generic. If
on
it's
that
good
red
quality.
one that was at Co's one day event?
Floyd Rose. No, I'm just kidding.
There was like some sort of beefy, weird
It was a
bridge.
Bixby, and it has this, for lack of better words, and people are gonna hate me when I say this, it's got a generic roller bridge that I found that works pretty well with our guitars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find it on Co's thing here.
He posts pictures all the time.
You can't find it on codes. You
So-
can find it on mine.
I like how
Well,
you go to Co's instead of.
Well, I know
He's
that
more familiar
the
with that.
source.
Co-posted.
Is that on the
a
one
picture
day
of it
or
well
on
done.
Co's personal?
It was probably on one day.
So what do you use? So your parts are all over the place. What do you
Yeah.
use them for pickups?
Pickups we're using McNally.
McNally. Okay, cool.
I really like McNally stuff.
Yeah.
Nick Nelly's
It
are
always
great.
blows me
So if I want to get or if someone.
So this is
or
just
me
some
or-
random bridge you found somewhere. This is some random roller bridge.
Yeah.
Because like
Get
when
on
it,
all parts. I think that's the most
When
common
it-
supplier. Maybe I shouldn't say this. So
hey,
that
it's
people don't
fine,
buy it.
man. I think it's great. But like
Every time I go to buy them, they're out of stock, so everyone's caught on.
combined with like the rest of the aesthetic of your guitar and the craftsmanship, my impression was like, oh, did he have a bridge made? Because it like fits so well with
Yeah.
every part of the guitar.
That's why it was such a no-brainer for us, really.
It's
to go
so
with that one.
sleek and classy. I'm gonna have to track one of those bridges down now and put it on something.
Maybe we can put it on your guitar that has that old Gibson bridge we're
I
talking
kind of
about.
like that though, even though
Really?
it like
It does
isn't-
not hold tune.
it is impossible to intonate. Like the screws,
Yeah.
like kind of just free spin.
Yeah.
But I like the way it rocks on its post. It works well with the Bigsby because the strings don't have to slide in the saddles.
The whole thing.
The
just
whole
rocks.
thing just rocks back and forth. So it's actually
Jeez,
really like
man.
it's actually really tuning stable. Believe it or not. You
I
can
just
try it
worked
later.
on one of those bridges, so I'm having a hard time believing you, but
You try it out.
maybe you've got the lucky one.
I also had to have Sean Hutchinson from Pitbull cut new slots for it because it was completely
on that guitar, on the Explorer.
yeah, for the bridge because the saddles were completely out of alignment with the rest of the neck.
Oh yeah.
So like you'll look at it later and one of the strings is like on the last little tiny edge of metal of
Oh,
the
yeah.
high E saddle. It's pretty funky. That guitar is great, but it is funky.
Yep.
It's weird.
So I'm trying to figure out.
You're trying to talk about my guitars.
I'm
but
trying to
we keep
figure out
getting
what else there is to
distracted.
talk about.
Let's talk about your new can we call it a budget line? Is that
That's kind of what we're working towards.
insensitive to call it that?
I know
or-
it's like not a word that does it justice. Like
Yeah.
since
Yeah,
when
yeah.
is
You're-
$1,500
you're cheapos.
budget?
Yeah,
Your
why are you
cheapos.
releasing those under your own name? Why
bu-
you need a Squire's
Yeah.
like subsidy?
These are your bottom barrels, right?
My bottom.
You know,
No.
the guitar should just be called Navigator by Jennings, and then it's like Navigator T by Jennings, and then you do a Strat version that's Navigator S by Jennings.
Oh, there we go.
I grabbed the butterscotch one here.
battery.
I mean, it's a T style guitar, Telecaster style guitar.
100%. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I think it's a cool looking guitar.
Thank you. So the key with these ones is I'm able to. They're $1,500. The same build quality as the rest of them.
Dollars?
$1,500. Yeah.
Okay.
Budget? I don't know, but for boutique,
Sure. I mean,
budget
it's,
boutique.
it's kind of like in that vein of the Cower Titan that I've got up on the
Yeah.
wall there. Similar price point, similar kind of concept. Is like a stripped down version of the way you like to build things.
Yeah. So with the Tellys, I'm able to build these. We're doing only swamp ash bodies at this point at the $1,500 price point. You can get rosewood or maple board, black or white guard, and then we have 3 of the 4 colors here, being butterscotch. We've got black, sonic blue, and then I'm also doing an Olympic white.
The white one looks pretty
I
classy.
know
You
that's
sent me
probably my
pictures of
favorite
that.
right now.
It's pretty
It's
good.
sold, of course.
Yeah, of course it did because it looks so good. I the butterscotch is a close second for me as far as the aesthetics. I think
Yeah.
that's a go-to look for me.
They do have
Classic.
McNally's pickups in them. His
Oh, do they?
signature. Yeah.
Nice.
So we're able to do those, which makes a big difference. We have, this sounds funny to some people, but we did shield the cavities really well. So if you plug this thing in, it's quiet as a humbucker. We do offer a painted headstock upgrade
Because it doesn't have the normal like two-tone that you do on, it's like on your Voyager right now.
Which, again, I can do it, but to help cut the cost, I
Sure.
had to do simple things like
What's
that.
the upcharge on that?
Right now I have it 150, but it's going to come down to 100.
Okay. It's going to be 100, guys.
It's going to be 100.
Yeah, if you want to get the fancier headstock. I kind of like the way it looks.
I know.
I'm a little bit of a stickler for headstock shapes.
It's a hard one for me, too. I'm a really big fan of stock Tele headstocks.
I actually am not a fan
Oh.
of regular Telecaster headstocks. I think they look weird and dumb.
You like the 52 or the Strat headstock?
Yeah, I prefer Strat headstock. The only guitar that I've liked Tele headstock on is my... I've got a Stratocaster that I put a baritone conversion Telecaster neck on, and I just like it because it's so weird. But I don't
it not
like
in here?
It's not in here. I had to make space for these guys.
On a different note, you can order a Jennings neck that will bolt in here, a baritone Jennings neck.
Oh, what?
So all of our guitar lines, you can actually bolt in our baritone neck into the existing body, and it works with pickup combinations as well as the intonation on the bridge.
That's cool. I didn't know you did that at all.
I know. I need to market that somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have the little cutaway.
Yeah, I like your cutaway there. And
Stock Tele guys aren't big fans, but those who like to play guitar like them.
stock Tele guys, though, are going to buy a stock Tele.
Exactly.
So they're not going to like...
Irrelevant market.
Exactly. Oh,
just
it's not,
seems like-
it's
it
not
seems like
exactly like a
such a-
Telecaster.
Such a odd thing to nitpick.
Right?
Yeah. Yes,
Everyone's got their own opinions.
it is more comfortable. Like I can feel it right now. My hand's not
You
hitting
can reach.
anything.
You can fret on that
Yeah,
pickup if you wanted to.
Yeah. I could
Comfortably.
fret on the pickup if I wanted to.
That's what he just said.
I usually do that. No.
He said that and I said it again. You do that? You fret on the pickup?
No.
Is there any reason you went for a single ply pickguard?
Simple aesthetics.
Okay.
It is a bit cheaper.
Oh, there
It
it
is
is.
cheaper.
You're cheaping out on us.
If guys hate it, I will switch to 3-ply.
I'm actually become a fan over the years of a single ply.
Are you asking this because
We did have
That
this
was-
conversation.
that was I forget which color it was, but Ryan and I were talking about. I was like, I think this would look better with 3-ply.
My Duosonic up there is a single ply. And when I first got it, I was like, single ply. It must be because it's a cheap guitar, blah, blah, blah. I hate it, this and that. And over the years, I thought about like getting a 3-ply made for it. But I've come around where like, I think it would look stupid with a multiply.
And are you used to it the way it is?
I feel like there's a classy, like this flat, like simple design of a single ply that I really appreciate now, and I kind of like seeing them on guitars more than like
Interesting.
the thick multiplies that you see on a lot of stuff. I like it when you see like the crazy like what is it, like 8 or like 6-ply that you see on SGs sometimes. Like those are fun.
Those guards are so stiff. As
Yeah.
like a maker, I like
Like you
I like
could,
those things.
yeah. They're not going to bend at all. But yeah, there's something about a single ply that I appreciate now. And Steve doesn't like it. He told me that he doesn't like it. He says he likes them less than he likes Italians.
Whoa.
I'm gonna title
He's
this.
painting you in a bad picture.
I'm
right now.
gonna title this episode "Steve Hates Italians."
Jeez. No one will believe you because they saw my pizza post in Pizza Group the other day.
Hey man, just because you like their food doesn't mean you don't like the people.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think kind of like the last thing I want to say about it is we do offer 2 neck profiles for the Tele. So one being the fat 50s neck, and then the other one being our standard profile.
This is the fat one, right?
That one's the fat one.
Do the other ones have standard?
Black's got a fatty, and then the other guy's got our standard one.
Gotcha. I knew that this one felt a little different
Yeah.
than the one of the other ones I had played.
But it doesn't necessarily feel
I
thick.
didn't
It's
know if it
kinda
was in my
comfy.
head. I like the full feel.
Yeah.
I honestly do. I think if I was going to commission one of these, I would go for the full feel.
Yeah. Anything else? I'll do a Tele flip or a plate flip if
You'll
guys
flip
want that.
He'll
Might
flip
be-
it.
It'll be a small upcharge, but I will do it. What else? 9.5-inch radius. Satin finishes all around.
Is there a
so.
truss adjustment on this?
There is. It's on the heel.
Okay.
That's the way we've always done them. I'm still torn as to what truss rod to do.
Oh yeah, you don't have it on the Voyager either.
Yeah, they're all
the
heel.
headstock truss.
Keeps the top looking clean.
It is clean. I don't know. I'll adjust a truss every now and then, and I've never done one with a heel adjustment. So what does that look like? Like, I'm gonna get
Everyone's got their own system. The way I like to do it is I actually put 2 pieces of Velcro through the strings up here to kind of keep the strings together, and then I slack up all the strings. You got to unbolt the neck, unfortunately, which for some guys that's a big thing. For me, it takes 30 seconds.
Sure.
And then you do whatever crank you need, bolt it back up. So It takes
Well,
some skill and finesse.
The thing I worry about is that like I'm kind of like when I adjust the truss, I'm definitely like flying blind. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how many times to turn it to get the adjustment that I want. So it'd be like pull off the neck, crank it like a quarter turn, and be like, oh, I hope I didn't snap it, and then put it all back together. And like, I didn't go far enough.
Yeah.
But that's what you're supposed to do.
It takes me
But
sometimes
it takes
2 or
more
3 times.
time.
It does.
It takes more time.
Well, so like along those lines, like that's one because of the shimming, and two because that Telecaster I have is a neck
heel.
or is a heel adjustment. That was part of why I.
You're just like, I'm not gonna
The
touch
other
it.
reason why I was like, I need to take this to a shop. I'm not even going to try to
Yeah.
set it up, because once it has that the potential to take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on. But the Velcro thing, that's a good idea.
I
Kinda thought
even
about
use
that.
the capo sometimes, but sometimes the capo walks around a little bit. The tricks of the trade. And if you ever have a truss rod that's you got to bend a little bit further, sometimes I actually manually bend the neck back on one. You're like, oh crap, this truss rod's too tight. You actually tighten the rod, then kind of let it come back.
That's going to be the one problem with the action being better on the Telecaster. Is I would take that thing and put my arm on the body.
Oh, yeah?
And just pull it down.
Yes,
like,
it's gonna buzz out now when Steve almost breaks the neck off his guitar. We should move on. This is gonna be a long episode.
Yeah,
we still got another one to record tonight,
this
and I'm
week's-
on like 4 hours of sleep.
Oh, dude.
I did that on Tuesday. I did my entire Wednesday on less than 3 hours of sleep. It was 2 hours and 59 minutes.
That's
Check-
Oh my
That's a
gosh.
rough Wednesday.
That was brutal.
Uh,
went from 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday to like 1 a.m. Thursday.
Do we want to thank our sponsor?
Nah, screw those guys. Let's move on.
What,
I'm just
Steve? Those guys pay bills for us.
I heard they're Italian.
Guys, Steve, I like money.
No, you need money.
No, this week's episode is brought to us by, where do we want to start? Let's start with Gun Street.
Gun Street.
Wiring Shop. They're doing wiring for me. They did wiring for Ryan. They do
They're gonna
wiring
do
for
more
lots
wiring.
of people. But if you have an idea, if you have a guitar and you're like, I don't exactly know. I know my wiring needs an upgrade, but I don't know exactly what I want to put in there. Hit them up and be like, hey guys, tell me the pros and cons of what you might want to put into this thing.
I've been thinking
They'll
about
help you out.
I've been thinking about hitting him up for the SL pickup tester guitar because it was pointed out to me, and very correctly pointed out to me, that if I'm swapping between singles and humbuckers on there, I'm going to want different values of pots. So I'm going to need some sort of system to switch between two different kinds of pots.
You need a 3-way switch.
Right, but I'm saying I'm going to have Gun Street build it for me.
You're
I'm going
gonna
to talk
do
to
it.
them about it
Yeah.
so that I don't have to do it because I don't want to
Figure it all out.
like mess it up.
Just have
a million
3
times.
different pots and a little switch that switches between the pot. And then that's obviously
They'll figure it
that's
out,
not the
Steve.
answer.
I don't have to figure it out because Gun Street will figure it out
All right,
for me.
gunstreetwiringshop.com, I believe, is the URL. If it's not, just Google Gun Street Wiring Shop. You're a smart person, maybe. I hope.
Steve, they're smart.
Yeah, they-
Steve thinks that all our listeners are Italian.
Oh my gosh. If you're Italian, I'm sorry.
This joke doesn't make any sense.
I know. That's why I love it.
This week's episode is also brought to you by Sinusoid Pro Audio Couture. They make cables.
They made all 3 of the cables we're using right now.
Their big thing we are going to talk about this week is the Sasquatch series of cables. That's their IEC cable, their power cables, their spear cables. They're extra thick with 3 C's and no K.
Sweet.
They're super
love the
beefy.
Sinusoid
They're going
guys.
to deliver your power. They're going to handle the power from your amp that goes into your speaker the way that a proper speaker cable should.
They're so beefy. Just imagine a Sasquatch coming out of the woods, picking up an entire living cow and carrying it into the woods. That's how beefy these cables are.
They're so beefy that if you sleepwalk, you might accidentally try to eat one thinking that it's a Slim Jim.
Their cables are that, you know, I'd say the Sasquatch is thicker than a Slim Jim, but I've seen those like super thick Slim Jims. It's like that, but long because it's a cable. Like imagine a 15-foot long Slim Jim, like a thick Slim Jim. That's what we're talking about here.
All right, Sinusoid Pro Audio Couture. Like I said before, they make cables.
And smiles.
Sinusoid.com. Last but not least, this episode is brought to you by Greenchild Amplification.
Boom, I got a pedal right here in my hand.
What?
Look at this thing. This is the Valve Reaper by Greenchild. It's a pretty unique overdrive. / distortion in the fact that it doesn't have a gain knob. There's
Whoa.
no gain control on this dirt pedal. And so you're asking yourself, well, how do I control the gain? Well, there's a ratio knob, you see. And on one side of the knob is an overdrive. I'm holding up so Steve and Chad can see.
Yes,
and on
yes.
the other side of the knob is a distortion. 2 different circuits.
just blending.
And you blend in between the two.
Ooh.
So there's no way to adjust the level of gain, but you're adjusting the kind of gain. And it gives you different flavors in between that blend there. Or you could just have a straight overdrive on one side or a straight distortion on the other. It's pretty unique sounding. It sounds really cool in like a retro torn speaker sort of way. I like it for like Link Ray Kinks sort of stuff. And this case design is actually pretty limited. It's down to the last dozen or so.
Oh, wow.
Before it gets put in a new case. Apparently it's really expensive to make these custom cases.
It looks like it,
As you
man.
can imagine, right now Greenchild is running these for $25 off, $175 versus $200. And you get a shirt to cover your naked body with. And what else? Man, I can't remember, but it's a cool pedal if you want it in this case.
Is there a tube in there?
Now's the time to act. Nope.
There's
no
not.
tube. It's various FETs, I imagine.
Interesting.
Mosses and J's, I assume. Maybe a buy. I don't know. There's FETs in there, guys.
What if it's just diodes?
Also kind of looks like an avocado. It's got like a texture.
Interesting.
It's got a texture to it.
Totally.
And it's made in the US. Go check them out. Greenchild, Valve Reaper. All right, let's get into this ad. This is going to be a crazy long episode, guys.
Oh, man.
Liberty guitar. In great condition. Will need to be tuned. Willing to negotiate. Signed by Christian bands. But the sticker can be taken off if you want it removed.
Why would you want to take it off?
So I love that they don't even say what Christian bands signed it. And there's like, maybe like 30 signatures on here.
There's YNF.
So there's at least
There's a king. Someone signed it and wrote king, and they drew a little crown.
So YNF is Hillsong Young and Free.
Yep.
So you think Hillsong signed this?
No, Hillsong Young and Free signed it. There is a.
I don't know what
Hillsong
that
is
is.
very
So Hillsong has
multifaceted.
like.
Is that like the youth group band?
Yeah, so Hillsong has at least 3 different like touring groups. There's like just Hillsong Live.
Uh-huh.
And then there's Hillsong United, which Hillsong United is, I think, like your more of your like kind of like college rock kind of sounding Hillsong stuff.
Indie.
Yeah, it's like a lot of like your big whatever. And then Hillsong Young and Free is like their youth group. Like it's a lot of like EDM influenced stuff.
Okay.
It's surprisingly well produced, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I've never, I don't know.
I've probably heard
I've come
it
across
before.
it.
You probably have, yeah.
I never like,
You would have thought it was Bieber or something like that.
whenever I play like at church, I never look up like who did the songs and like look into it because that's not the music I listen to in my personal time.
Yeah.
So like, oh, I know that song. I play that song like all the time. I have no idea who wrote it or originally performed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one of these is Sidewalk Prophets. That's a band. I don't really know who they are. I just know it's a band.
My big question with this,
I think
guitar-
one of this says Boneheart
that's a cool name.
or Bright Work. I don't know. I don't know what the rest of this is. But
Bon Jovi. No, just kidding.
yeah,
I see that signature. I think it says Bonnie Ham T. Bonnie Hamped.
Bunny.
Because that's a T at the end.
Heart?
No,
I
it's got to
think
be
there's a
Hamped.
signature in here that says Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
I know
signed this?
that one. Right by the jack. Tony.
So yeah.
I don't know who any of these people are, but that's
get
not
it.
really the thing I want to talk about. Also, this got a big logo for Liberty University, which apparently is a well-known university. And Steve scoffed at me earlier because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But anyways, this guitar to me, I want to talk about the finish on it.
Uh-huh.
It's a black Squire Strat, but the top of the body is this gray color that everyone signed on, and their signatures on the pick guard, of course. The debate is whether or not the top of this guitar is like a sticker wrap or if the guitar was painted. Because it says in the ad that there's a sticker involved and you can remove the sticker if you want. And is the debate is the sticker the Liberty logo or is it the entire gray top of the guitar?
I have a new philosophy on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think it was possibly a sticker or a vinyl thing put on, and then clear coat was put on over it in the factory.
Oh, okay. So this is like a custom.
It's like the Budweiser guitars,
But they
or like
if they
the
did
Coors guitar.
I've never seen a Squire. Like you're thinking like the Monster Energy drink Epiphones.
Exactly.
That sort of thing. I've never seen a Squire that was done that way though. And we see all
I'm pretty
kinds
sure
of
I've
stuff.
seen a bunch of them for like Bud Light and stuff at like taco joints and stuff like that.
I don't think those are Squire or even Fender branded though. I think they get like
You're right. A lot of them are kind of.
I think they get like
off-brandy.
Carnival guitars for those.
You don't.
Isn't that what a Squire is?
Oh, deep burn from the guitar maker here. Jeez.
Squire's a step up from Carnival guitars.
I've got Chad Squire hating Jennings over here.
You know,
I've got to find something to hate. Steve hates Italians.
Probably
You
have
hate
a-
Squires.
My
I'm sure you have a long
mustache.
list.
I don't hate your mustache. That's a good mustache. I've got too much love in me, guys.
Okay.
Too much love.
I don't
Except
hate stuff.
unless your name is.
I think the whole top of the guitar is a decal. Because I look at the logo of Liberty, and I don't think that's a sticker. I think it's part of the top finish that is a decal, and that's the sticker that they're talking about. I think they took this to some company that prints decals, and they're like, let's get a guitar decal. And they're like, we already have a template. We'll just print your logo on there. We're good to go.
I bet they auctioned it off.
I can't find anything like this. This is
Because-
a one of a kind guitar, guys.
Because, like, you can see...
Super unique.
You can see on the back of the guitar, like and this is my me refuting your argument, Chad, is you can see like the shine to the finish.
Oh,
like
totally.
a normal paint finish, and you're not getting any of that shine on the front of the guitar.
You are right there, though.
This dull though. It's not like
What's that right there? The little white shine right
no,
there.
it's not. It's not the same.
Looks like softbox
I
lighting
don't
to
know, this
me.
is conspiracy. This is a conspiracy right here. Which there's too many shadows around this guitar. This is.
I think it's unique and it's gonna be worth
DFB
a lot of money one day.
You know what, Ryan? You know what, Ryan? I know for a fact that you love this guitar
Why do I love this guitar?
because it has a single ply pickguard.
It does have a single ply. Look at that.
And it's like gray and it's kind of blue.
I kind of like that gray. I kind of wish the whole body was finished that color.
I finished a guitar gray.
Yeah, what happened?
Nobody bought it.
Wow.
I think
You got to try some things.
I think we hit this one out of the park. I don't think there's anything else I'll have to say about it. Do we want to tackle the next ad?
Now we want to do some housekeeping.
Okay, here's the housekeeping.
Our housekeeping this week. Housekeeping is where we talk about people who give us money. Hooray!
Yeah, boy.
But this week, big shout outs to Alex Ramirez, Greg Schneider, and Tim Gregory, who are supporting us at the Inner Circle level. I think they just did it so they could get a discount on the 50/50, but we'll see what happens.
Nothing wrong with that.
And a dollar supporter, Sander Hessels, who is in the Netherlands, I believe.
wow.
Which is kind of cool to when.
Does she want to be there?
Why are you assuming Sanders' gender?
I thought you said Sandra.
No, Sanders.
Okay.
Sander. It's
do-
just Sander.
Do they want to be there? Do they need to be rescued?
How would I know that?
I don't know.
Please send a help message if needed.
I mean,
Let us know if you need help.
obviously, if they were in
We will send help to get you
Italy-
out of the Netherlands. I have nothing against. Do I hate the Netherlands?
Yeah, you do. You do.
We found the thing that I hate.
Because
Ryan, where are you
because
from?
there's only two things, Ryan, that you hate: people who hate people for the places that they're from, and the Dutch.
in the Dutch.
So anyway, if you want to find out more about supporting the show, check out patreon.com/60cyclehumcast. And all of our tiers are there.
All my tears are right here on my
Support
on
the
my
show or
cheek.
don't. All right. This next topic is...
Well, wait a minute. Do we want to commit to doing another topic? I mean, we're at an hour 14 here.
Ooh, man.
You want to take this last couple things and push it over to the next step?
Maybe we should take the last ad and get out of here so we're going
Oh,
to
we're
bed
going
at
to take
some
the
point.
ad. All right. Let's clear this ad out. This was sent in by Matt Hadley, who's also an international.
This is a unique one because it's his own ad.
Yeah. Why can I not find this?
It's at the very end. No, it's not. Where is it?
Which one? Which one?
His brown liquor.
Ooh.
There it is. Description.
There it
DIY headless guitar. Honestly, this guitar was just dropped and I can't be bothered fixing it. A great project for someone who's getting into guitar repair. Guitar is a platinum set neck SG style, including tuners, wiring harness knobs, scratch plate, and rear control plate. The damage is obvious from the pictures, but it's the Gibson break. Pretty clean break, all things considered. Could be repaired by gluing headstock back on, or you could pop the neck out and replace that whole thing. Pick up an Eltham, or I could meet you on the way to from work, Chadstone. If you don't feel like paying money for this, I'll accept a bottle of whiskey.
So one of the reasons he posted this ad is because before in another episode I talked about wanting to take a trade for something I couldn't move for just a bottle of brown liquor. Like if someone would show up with a bottle of brown liquor, that's what it kept saying, then they could just have it.
No one ever showed up.
No one ever showed up, but he got someone to show up. The last photo in this is his bottle of brown liquor that someone gave him as a Jim Beam bottle of whiskey here. So he got that trade, which I think is fantastic.
How big of a bottle is this?
How do we
Half
know that he
liter?
actually got the trade?
I don't think he would lie. He doesn't strike me as a liar. I'm trying to see the print on the bottom to see how big it
It
is.
just says that. Oh, 700 mil.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's an odd size, but sure, we'll go with it. That's a pretty. That's
Yeah, an even size would be 600 or 800 mil.
This is Britain size? Is that why?
He said I said even size, and he said odd size. So
said-
I was doing a numbers joke with even numbers instead of odd numbers. 7 is an odd
Where's he out
number.
of? Where's he out of?
Oh, where is he?
Australia.
Oh, Australia.
Oh, he's in Australia.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Kind of just assumed.
So
it was
actually, I wonder if this is more expensive in Australia because
It
I'm
could
thinking
be.
like here, this is probably
Import
like a
fees and stuff.
$25, $30
They
bottle.
probably upplay it and like, oh, here's some fine American liquor. And Jim Beam is like the cheap stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. I like cheap stuff. You know, this is the Coors of podcasts.
probably
over
better
here.
than Kirkland blended Scotch.
I like that wild turkey. I'll tell you what. I like the turkey. I wanted to mention that even though this SG is like an off-brand copy, it's a close enough copy to the Gibson version that it breaks in the exact same way. So that's something, huh?
I've done a few of those repairs. They're pretty easy, actually.
They're easy?
In most cases, they're pretty easy.
You just kind of line up the wood and hold it together for like 10 minutes?
I had one guitar. Pretty much.
You squirt a little...
I've used tape.
You squirt a little wood. You
Was it-
taped
was
it up
it-
and then
was
you
it
were good to
blue
go?
I
tape?
glued it up, and then I have like this binding tape that's a little bit higher tack, but I just because like the wood kind of it just indexes itself
It's
back into where
right.
it came from.
It's like a puzzle piece.
Yeah. I had another
There's
guitar.
no nut
I just
on this guitar. I just realized the nut is one of the things that's also
Well,
missing.
yeah, the headstock completely broke off, Steve. The nut probably went flying when whatever happened.
or shattered into its 5 plastic pieces that it was.
Either way, I feel like this is an all right deal.
I feel like that's a good trade. I mean, you got something that you technically don't really want to work on or don't want to keep going. And you're just like, someone take it off my hands, bring me something to make my Saturday fun, you know?
Or to soften the sorrow.
to soften the pain. I've got that speaker cab upstairs still that I want to move. I need to relist it and do the
What
same
is it?
thing. It's a homemade speaker cab that I got from someone because it had...
But it's worth 20,
it had
$30.
It had a blue in it, and that's why I bought it as a deal with another
Is it
amp.
pine?
I don't know. It's painted gray.
Aw.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'll show it to if
you
want.
wanted a blue speaker, so you don't like blue guitars, but you do like blue speakers.
You
I
can't
actually
see the blue speakers.
I actually don't like the blue speaker all that much, but I keep it around because it's a reference point for doing demos. Like, oh, here's a blue speaker. This
It's
is
in one of these, right?
yeah, it's the furthest one down. The speaker I actually use has a greenback in it, which I much prefer to the blue.
That's what you played out of earlier.
Yeah, I like the greenback. The blue just sounds. It doesn't. It's not my sound. I don't like it. I don't know. Ready to get out of here?
Yeah,
Tell
this
us about the
week's
song,
song
Steve?
was sent by Emily Harris from the Get Offset podcast.
Yeah, go check that out, guys. There's a new podcast. They've got like 6 episodes.
Yeah, this song is called Green Lake Loops. She says there is a part in this one where almost everything drops out. Not sure why it happened, but I like it, so I left it in.
Sounds dramatic.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.